through and Prince of the City.
And there we are. We're still waiting for the guest. So still hold on. There's some guests, but there might be another guest, as I have.
Damn, how many vagabonds are going to come into my city?
That's fun. It's a free for all. It's a buffet, so to speak.
For whom?
Well, for come all. I don't know.
What I'm saying is, I'm glad that Sean's not in the city. That would have been
interesting. He's a hungry hippo.
With some a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
A little bit of a Hannibal hit there. But last episode, we ended it quite interesting, maybe dramatic. Shiv is on the precipice of diving into... I don't even think she knows what she's diving into.
No, she does not. Marianne has an inkling, but yeah. Shiv is just there for the fun.
I'm just envisioning the whole orgy scene from the original Conan movie. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You might not be off. Chris, on the other hand, he's got a boo-boo. He's got a...
Hey, I work perfectly fine from neck up.
He's got one, a very icky-sticky separate spine at the minute. Well, you know, you're like sort of immortal, so yeah.
Ooh, I can see my spine.
You'll be fine.
You walk it off. No, you can't. Burn.
So that's what a lung looks like.
Fun. Well,
I'm just waiting for having. I was waiting to have an argument with Shiv, and she's just gonna go, "Well, I can see right through you."
It's like a death becomes her kind of.
Yeah,
scenario.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Chris in a very nice dress.
Yeah, red dress, mind you. All right. Well, let's jump in. And this evening's episode, we're gonna start with the very wounded prince, and we're gonna maybe go a little bit back in time until the early part of the car ride, as JJ is making haste with the prince in the back seat.
I'm assuming I'm lying on the back seat, or
Yes.
did you put me up with? Okay.
No, you're pumped. And you can communicate fine. Sort of kind of move your arms, but not well. And like before, she's very distressed. And you are saying that you wanted to take care of this, and she is this beast.
We're gonna. Don't worry, JJ. We will punish the individual. Fitting of our clan. Remember, we are not brujas. We don't run around scallywagging in the street like some common street ruffians.
But an assault on your person is assault on the throne itself, Prince.
That is why no one will find out. We will not show weakness. Either that, plus it'll help sell the injuries in a week's time. Presumably, if I'm not completely healed by then. I don't know how this works. You've been in this existence longer than I have, JJ. Exactly how does our bodies handle such physical trauma? Because it doesn't really hurt. Not the gunshot one. The other one that hurts. Ew.
No.
I smell like bacon.
But it will take some time, Malish. It's severe.
Well, let's say that again. There's a hole in me, actually all the way through.
Whoever did
Relax
this
it.
clearly knew of us.
Oh yeah, apparently the place I was visiting was protected, as they said. I have no idea what that means. But I suggest we stay away from said place in the future, JJ. So maybe we should take a little look about its accreditation scheme.
You see it like, on the corner of your eye, you see she's almost like white knuckling the steering wheel, and she drives really, really fast.
I'm not particularly fond of it myself.
I would like you to do wits insight check on her.
You just can see her. Can you see her? And well, luckily, I'm still actually not hungry because I managed my Rorschach for the healing. So
Yeah,
I'm actually
good hit.
fairly. You said wits insights.
Yep.
Zing zing. 3 successes.
This is perhaps the first time you are unsure that JJ will follow your wishes.
He's actually touched. I think actually is what's gonna the first thing that hits him. That it's not actually just, though probably not him as a person. It's him as his blood, but still it does prove some undeniable attachments.
Yes. Maybe also disconcerting. But then again, we'll go with that's sweet.
And then suddenly a flash of him in a bad chunk of wood between his knees. JJ with a mallet.
Mystery.
Gonna keep you safe.
So you are taken back to the master's estate. I'm guessing that's where we should.
Yeah, be good mix because he might actually. I mean, he might have to meet people, so it's probably. Plus, it's the safest place with a lot of people to protect when he's not self-mobile, which he probably won't be for a while. So yeah, master's estate. I think you're gonna have to help me inside, but back entrance perhaps.
Well, your personal ghouls will be more than capable of hiding this.
Probably, yeah. Probably need some sort of wheelchair to get me around for the next couple of days. Actually, probably gonna need 2, 1 for each level.
Of course. She carries you, and you see the distress of your personal ghouls as they are like, Malish, are we under attack?
No, nothing like that. It's just a little misfortune, that's all. It's no big deal. Good as new in a fortnight.
They stand there a little bit confused about the situation, and JJ, I'm sure you can find yourselves busy with busy work. We need to get you out of these damaged wet clothes. The storm is rampant outside. Still.
Chris suddenly realizes, oh no. Just remember, it was cold outside.
Oh my god. Well, JJ is definitely not going to be the one that undresses you. She'll do many things for her prince, but that's...
He's just trying to lighten the mood a bit so she doesn't run off into the night to kill someone.
From that scene.
Plus, he's angry with it as well. He's furious at the guy who shot him, but he's also angry with himself.
Callous.
This is what complacency gets you.
Mm-hmm. Feeling that you are, well, the biggest dog, the baddest monster, and then, yeah, there's something else out there altogether. As he is being changed, dressed up, the camera's pans through the storm and hits the Y as you're standing there with Callisto, with her tears and her lips caressing her cheek, and Castor holding her hand, staring at her with admiration and awe. Callisto speaks. As you said yes, and you want to do this, we have to make sure the space is safe. You have to make sure that nobody enters when we do this. It might disturb the flow and the rhythm of what I want to give to you.
Of course.
Excellent. To make sure that nobody enters as we do this. No harm will come to you. I promise you this on my soul and my being.
Well, if it would, I wouldn't be sure that you would be able to walk out of here alive, so we trust each other, I believe.
Of course. Of course. She turns you towards her as she cups your cheeks and she kisses you ever so lightly on the lips. Make that preparation and I will set up the ritual so I can show you what I can do for you and the gift we could give you if you so let us.
This excites me. You excite me. I'm looking forward to this, and I look at Castro as well. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
This.
We are linked. Our destinies and our threads in the time. We are bound, Miss Price.
I'm looking forward to see what bond we share and where it might lead us.
And so are we, Miss Price. So much weighs on this. I am sure Callista will not disappoint your curiosity at all, not in the least. He taps your hand and he lets go.
I'll turn around and I'll go towards the exit.
There's a weird atmosphere in the room. You haven't really been aware that there was so many bodies in the room.
I mean, I'll briefly glance at them, but I don't think that's where my focus is right now. This mere mortals.
Who cares? Who cares?
Ugh. I have business to attend to. No.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. But I'll actually, I'll go downstairs. So I'll take the lift downstairs and I'll go to Adnan's office. If he's not, unless, I meet him.
He's actually just, exiting the office. With his phone. Oh, mistress. Yes.
Have you seen Eve around?
Yes, just mere moments ago. I think she was collecting something for your private domain.
Oh, good. Don't bother her with this. But can you make sure that no one enters or exits? What floor are they on? Well, that floor.
Well, it's close to your, one of the top ones. They have the entire, a big suite, one of the more executive suites. Yeah. With more.
Just keep it private for right now. I'll be there, and I wouldn't mind you keeping an eye on us.
Of course.
But don't be afraid if there is anything unusual, unless you actually see me dead. Don't bother us. But if you do see me being harmed in ways where I cannot recuperate, burn the place.
Shush, mistress. He doesn't question your commands or orders.
No. Then I'll just turn and I'll go back up.
As you re-enter the executive suite in the living room with the great big window, the stage is different. The main floor where sofas and chairs would be standing has been cleared. Candlelights have been put up. Lights have been lowered. Scene has been set. To the opposite end, I will say to the not towards the bedroom area, but the other area, you see all these weird humans are gathered on, they've taken all the pillows and cushions, and they're almost bobbing and weaving, touching each other. Excitement. You feel the taste almost of blood and sweat in the air. Castor's, yeah, again, just sitting there very close to the window with them on the side. In the center, almost like, in a ring with candles. Callisto stands with a knife.
I'll just look at the scene, look at her, look at him. Not saying anything.
She smiles. She's wearing a white, very short tank top, white skirts. All the jewelry is stripped off her, but she's just ordained with her beautiful hair, barefoot. Siobhan, may I call you that?
Of course.
Enter freely and with no fear.
I'll take a step in.
There's almost like there's a hum in the air, and you're pretty sure it's the humans, almost like humming. She glides around you, caressing your shoulders, being very familiar and intimate in the way she touches you. It's intriguing. It's sensuality to it. Choose one, Siobhan. Any one of them.
Who's your favorite?
She points to a dark-haired, not black, brown hair, shoulder length, fairly young, maybe early 20s.
I'll just reach out my hand.
As he gets up, there's like a gust in the hum of them. Almost like it's a celebration almost, or maybe it's a taint of envy. He walks. He's just wearing like very ripped denim pants, nothing on top. He's a pretty thing, for sure. This is Sam, she says. She whispers in your ear.
Sam.
You
I'll
like
just-
Sam?
It's a pretty little thing.
Good. Let's begin, Siobhan. You must offer him some of yours.
She had a knife. I'll just take her hand and I'll just do a little.
He asks ever so politely, with a little bit strange dialect, "May I please?"
Don't waste it.
And he drinks. Callisto pets you very so gently, and she pets him. And she says, that should be enough. Just a taste, that's all we need. So, you
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, of course. Yes.
have a seat in the center.
I'll have a seat.
She sits him opposite you, outside the ring of candles. And then she starts talking in a language. Maybe it's Latin. Is she versed in Latin or Spanish?
We have Latin on her sheet, so yes. It's not. It's only one dot, so it's.
Well, then it's a basic academic.
I have two in linguistics, but I think it was German and then it was, or Germanic and then it was Latin. So.
Well, then you get gists of it. She's calling into the other. She's calling past the veil. She's asking if the conduit is ready. And she will be the guide. She is the lighthouse. She's the alpha, she's the omega. You also understand that she is asking if he trusts her. And he looks at her with pure love. She sits down. Again, you see these bowls are being brought to her. And she slits his wrist. She kisses his cheek. She caresses him, and he just looks at her, just pure love and admiration. She takes another bowl with the liquid that also has been given to her, and she drinks it. You hear something she says to the god of death, the night god. I give thanks. Then she takes the bowl from where he has bled quite a bit, and it still is bleeding, and she drinks that. Now you can do a rouse check.
Yeah, I was about to. Like, I rolled composure, so I'm good on that side. Unless it's a 9, so I guess I'm clear.
The storm and the humming, it feels like a rhythm. Like there's a pulse in the room. Like it feels tribal. It feels like it's like smoke, like blood, like sex, like death, like life. It just feels so much in the room. She drinks it, and you see she spills down onto her very ripped short tank top, and she looks divine as she does it. It is tantalizing for a vampire. It's yes, the Toreador inside, the beast loves the drama and the display. She steps ever so gently into the ring, and she kneels in front of you. I am the cat. I am the water. I am the guide of the in-between. Say the name of who you speak and who you love.
Don't you already know?
You need to call. It needs to be in your voice, Siobhan.
Do I know Aiden's name before? He was
Nope.
Price? Nope. Okay. Aiden Price.
She grabs your hands, and again her eyes lock to yours. Louder. He needs to hear your need.
Aiden. I want Aiden Price. My only love.
She smiles lovingly. She whisks away the hair off her neck. Drink.
I'll lean in. And I'll
Blessed be the traveler, she says.
And I kiss her neck before I puncture it and drink.
First, it's just the beautiful sensation of the Vita. And then it just feels like maybe it's the humming, maybe it's the pounding of her heart, maybe it's the storm, but the room shifts. It feels like it's thick with smoke and voices. It feels dark, dangerous, erotic even.
I think I've been like, probably as I leaned in to bite her, I was like holding her back of her hand and is probably grabbing it a little tighter.
There's almost like an instinctive, your eyes snap open, like your pupils are like fully dilated, and you see she's actually holding out her hand to Sam, and his eyes are rolling back into his skull. You must do another rouse check.
5. So that was a little fail.
At this point, you can decide if you want to burn a will.
It's probably useful. I don't know what
where
you're going to.
Or willingly take stains.
No, no, I don't like stains. I have had a few. I want to do a will. See, I haven't used that in such a long time. I guess I'm just crossing out one.
Cross it out.
Yep.
I'm still gonna give you a stain. I'm still gonna do it because you take more in that moment. You feel the beast growl, and you can almost feel like you snap at her. It's like you're almost holding it too hard. Almost you can feel like her bones shift as she shifts. And then you let go. It's almost like she falls into your lap, but you don't see her. You see like the curls falling. And as you see, almost like a veil is pulled back. You see the boy. But there's not boy. Aiden sits there.
Because we're both on the floor, right?
Yeah, he was kneeling just outside the circle.
Yeah, no, I think I'm like crawling my way over to him. Aiden?
He touches his head. Shiv? Shiv. He grabs you, holds you. He feels warm. He feels alive. You can feel a heartbeat.
I'll like touch his curls and I'll pull at his hair.
I feel strange. He almost laughs. It feels like I've been sleeping. Like I've walked alone.
You have never been alone, Aiden. You are not alone. But is it truly you?
Ask me anything that you could think only we know.
What happened before you left me?
In the apartment. I tried to save you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of it matters.
What happened? If it is you, you know my scars.
You hurt yourself. Is that what you speak of?
I told no one.
I'm so terribly sorry. For all of that. For all of that. The influence was too thick and too deep. I feel like I have woken from a deep sleep.
You have been away for long. Even when I see you, you're not yourself.
I'm in the other place. Don't trust all of that, Shiv. Don't trust all of it. Do not trust all of it. He grabs you. You hear the humming in the back. You do not see them, but you feel it's almost like it's red snakes. It's a fleshy tones. Do not trust all of it. I cannot promise you there are not lies there.
It's everywhere around us. But I need to know. If you could, would you come back?
I would never want to leave you. I did. I was weak.
Fool. I know.
Childish. Even. But there's lies. I'm clear now. I'm not clear then. Fuck. Deanna had more secrets. Do you still have her house?
Yes.
You need to find the purple box. I don't know where it is.
Is it yours or hers?
It's hers, but it's important. She never told me why. It's like she always knew that.
For you, for her, for me, for why?
I don't know. I know I always give you secrets. I know what I did. I put you on a goose chase. I put you in the Queen's wake. I did all of that and I fucked up.
You play games and I love you for it. Even though it's stupid.
I try to protect you. If you didn't know, they couldn't rip it out of your skull.
How can I trust that this is?
You can't.
No more lies.
You can't trust it.
Is it you or is it them that want the box? I wonder.
No, Shiv. No. I just want to protect you. When I'm in there, how the fuck am I going to protect you? The madness of the rooms in that house. You walk in circles and I'm stuck with that thing. I don't know what day it is and I don't know what I are most of the times.
Should I leave you alone? Should I see you? Because I feel I do you more harm.
I don't know. This is safer somehow. I feel like more like me. He grabs you. He kisses you. I feel more like me. I know this is not my body. I know that. I know that.
I've missed you.
I fucked up. He almost laughs. I thought I did such a clever thing. We always think we're clever. We do clever things and we create these mazes to protect the ones we love.
You're ever so arrogant. It's one of those things I liked about you. Silly, silly man.
Trust me in one thing. That place where I am. There's something else there. There's something.
I know it's wrong. I know it's dangerous. I understand that.
There's something. And I don't know what it is, but I feel something is happening. It's like you're not walking alone, Jeb. Is there someone with you?
Now, here, yes.
Is there someone with you?
Yes.
He grabs you and holds you, and almost like he wants to push like through the candles, but it's almost like there's a barrier. You can only like just reach one another. There's someone else. There's someone else, Shiv.
Here. Oh.
I love you so terribly much, and I failed you, but I will not fail you again. I promise you.
As long as you can be strong and trust me.
I trust you impeccably. Impeccably. Always.
I will do anything.
To the end of time. And when it's over, it's because we choose it to be so, not before. He kisses you passionately. Only when we choose Shiv. Not when they do.
I love you.
I love you more. The humming turns into a cacophony. And on that note, the Aiden you see, almost like he goes almost like grey and whiskey and smoke. And you see that the sound falls into your arms and you hear a very slow pulse. You are covered in blood.
Do you want me to roll again?
Yep.
That's a 6. So No, I didn't fail. No,
Nope.
I cleared. Yep.
You see he's
Does he still have?
he's bleeding. It's a bad.
I'll look at Callisto. May
She-
I? As I hold his.
No, she stops you. She puts your hands to your chest. He has served his purpose. Let him go. He is happy. He is content. He will go to the death guard, to the other path of Nefer, and he will be revered, lifted to a great position. He will be reborn like the rest of us. This body is just flesh. His soul is eternal. Do not cry for him. He is in ecstasy. You see the boy is, but he doesn't look scared. She picks up his head and puts it in her lap, and now her white is covered in blood. And she whispers something, and you do not know what language that is. And she kisses his forehead. Then moments later, a last exhale. And the cult behind shouts in bliss and happiness. And you hear them almost shouting his name and give him greets on his travel. Almost envy in the tone of their voice.
If I'm still on the if I've been still on the floor, I've been kind of turning towards her and him, and I think I'll stretch out the hand towards Callisto, and I'll look at her. Thank you.
There's no thanks needed to give.
And I'll take her.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just wanted to take her head like in between my hands, and I look down at her and no, it meant something. You gave me something something with purpose, something with that means something to me, and that's rare in our world. And then I'll gently kiss her lips before I kind of just, move a little away. I'm not moving away, but I'm just leaning backwards.
Now, I hope you understand the sincerity in what we do and what we are. As you long for your love, I long for mine. Half of my soul is stuck in the underworld. I want to be reunited with the half of my soul, so I can become my lover's love. I seek to be reborn in my true form, as you seek your love to be reborn. You sit on the key.
How?
You have in your hands something very old.
I know that. And I look at not Callisto, but Castor.
He's been very quiet.
I know that you possess abilities to talk to them, to go beyond the veil. I understand this. I think I was curious to see how you used it and for what, and what you wanted in return. What precisely is it that you need? And what will I get in return?
When I am restored, if you believe me, he says, and if you believe her, we will be granted in a great ritual of rebirth. As long as the soul is intact and has not been consumed. You may have your lover back.
How is it that you can talk to him and bring him forth when he is trapped elsewhere? Forgive me and my unintelligence. I don't understand that.
Callisto looks at you because he's inside you, dearest. You're an anchor.
And I'll just clutch the vial.
You and him are one. Two parts of the same whole. Both of your existence are not linked. It demands a sacrifice, as you have seen, but gladly.
Everything demands a sacrifice. That's... I've come to understand it's just how our world runs, flows, interacts. It's part of our life, isn't it? But you're mortal.
Well, I'm blessed with my master's blood. It gives and enhances my capabilities. Oh yes. Stab me and it would end me. Break my neck, I would be no more.
But you both want to become whole, and you both need... You need what the Queen of Bones sits on. And you need what I have. Is that...
We don't need a lot of what you have. We just need a little bit.
Before I even think about this, because I do have to think about it.
Of course.
I need you to tell me about the gifts you gave us. Because I still don't understand completely what they are. But I feel that they are of more importance than what you have led on. And
When Nefer Amenhotep is restored, he will not have any need for them anymore.
But what do they do, and why those gifts to me and to Chris?
As I said, they would be very enticing. And
You said we needed them, right?
Yes. I hinted toward the scarab. For the white Vita, you might visit the sunlight and not burn.
But the picture, the painting, and what is hidden underneath.
It's more of a what every prince also would want to love to have, this month. In the sands, it sometimes is a mirror or looking glass. Things not yet happened. Possibilities. A way for a ruler to test certain plans before executing. They're very valuable.
The sarcophagus. What importance does that have?
That is the petrified bones of the ones that was his visage of Nefer Amenhotep. The red mummy, you think, right? It is important when rebirth is to pass.
But not until then, I assume. Because I too sense these things, and I didn't get anything from it. But I understand that now.
As many great old things yet has no purpose of just being. Until, well, the great event of the rebirth. But none of this. She sighs, but none of this is of any use if we cannot reach the place that we need to reach.
Is there an important timing to this, or is it just as we go along? When Christopher deems it so.
We hope we have something that might help our dear prince as well. He's tormented.
But you're not bound to any specific moment in time.
No, it's not as trivial as that.
Good. Because it might take some time convincing him.
And she was like, so you will help. You will help us make him whole.
I have not yet decided. But there's hope. I can leave you with that.
That is more than we had mere moments ago. And I will take it like the most beautiful gem and treasure it. She says again. He's more... really doesn't say much.
No, it's just an observer. I look at Sam.
It's very pale and very dead.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Callisto.
He's very happy. She smiles at him. He's so happy.
Shiv does not laugh as Marianne does. I'm sorry.
Snicker, snicker.
Yeah, no.
We will deal with the body, do not worry.
I wasn't planning on asking. I'll get up. I'll reach a hand to Callisto.
She grabs it.
I'll assist her up. And I kiss it. Truly. Thank you.
She grabs it. Again, she's very affectionate. Very familiar.
Do you both know where I live? If there's anything.
Of course. And when you have decided, you know where to find us.
I'll just look at her. And then I'll go home.
Go home.
Upstairs.
Upstairs. As you
Yeah.
do so, the camera's going to pan out back to Chris's estate. You've been put in a wheelchair, dressed up, or if you want to be in a wheelchair, or just being sat in your office, or whatever you deem.
Probably wheelchair now if it's actually maybe, but if he's gonna have any meetings, he definitely won't won't be sitting in wheelchair. He wants to hide it as much. So get a chair ready for like everything's ready for behind a desk for any potential meetings. But in a wheelchair now, and a phone, so it's a mobile phone, and this infernal computer stuff that he's been trying to learn.
The gifts have yet not arrived, or the gift.
Lost in her own train of thought again, is she? So typical Shiv. Unreliable. Well, how late is it now? Oh, it's with the weather outside. Well, that's certainly. Well, tomorrow I'll send someone over to pick it up. Meanwhile, how late is it? Like how late in the night is it?
Like midnight. So it's not midnight, but midnight. So maybe 2-ish, 3-ish.
I have to get the whole of that private detective tomorrow to start looking for that maniac with the rifle. Could talk to Kitty Cat and arrange it that way, but no, we'll handle this our way. Little.
One of your personal ghouls comes in.
Ah.
There's a phone for you, sir.
Well. Real. Not much power in arms. This is just not gonna work, is
You're
it?
being driven.
Maybe I should get one of those chaise things that can carry me around like in the good old days.
Malish!
Oh. Go full Roman, just lie on the divan.
Why not go Caligula, mother effer?
No, that's more Shib's thing apparently.
Yeah,
that and human suffering. I mean, how many people has human sacrifices have Shiv committed now?
She has
racking up.
None.
She's racking them up. I mean,
Hands clean.
I just gave you a stain. They're not that clean.
Well, I never took a blade to anyone.
Lizzie Borden ain't got nothing on that bitch.
No, it's axe. Well,
Yes.
a phone is given to you.
This is Master speaking.
Good evening. This is Locke.
Ah, look, nice of you to call. How may I be of assistance this evening?
The Primogen wishes to have a meeting.
Really? When would that meeting be desirable?
As soon as it suits you, Prince.
Oh, well, there's still a few hours left of the night. I don't know how this weather affects you, but if it's possible, you may come to the Master's estate at 4.
I will let her know, my Prince.
Excellent. Did you say anything what it was pertaining to?
I'm a mere subject, probably beyond my pay grade, Prince.
Sure. Well, until we see each other again, Mr. Luck, it's been charming as always.
Of course, my prince. JJ is still.
Could this night be any worse? Well,
JJ is still.
Permit fucking could!
Well, JJ. Malish.
The mad one is coming. The Queen of Boons. Accent. We should hide my condition. Let's receive her. Let's receive her. Actually, let's make it informal as well as infernal. We'll receive her at the library, I believe.
As you wish.
I will be behind my desk. Make sure it's stuffed with nice pile of papers so I seem extra busy. And 15 minutes after she has entered, please call up with some pretext so I have an excuse to cut the meeting short if it lasts that long.
As you wish, Malish. I'm not very comfortable leaving you alone with her, though, JJ says.
I don't think she would try anything here, but if you're worried for my safety,
can I call upon De Winter?
Do that. And the prototype for the new chairs for the amateurs, why don't we exchange her chair with one of those, the chair in front of the desk with one of those, just to be on the safe side, and bring me the remote.
Of course, Malish. An excellent idea indeed. Do you wish me to call De Winter? Just
Yes,
to have
you
her
may.
in the house, in the manor.
Yes, do that. Actually, it's not too stupid idea. I might want to ask her about something else afterwards as well. But this actually would mean taking her into my confidence. That's a tricky one. Maybe I should ask Amber instead. Yes, but call her. Yeah. I think I will defer to your wisdom of security this evening, as my own judgment has proved somewhat lacking in that department. But before
Yes,
you leave,
you do act
do this.
like a young prince with no worries, Malish.
Oh, I have worries. That's probably why I take these. But I would actually assure you, I do not take lightly upon the responsibility upon my shoulders. Both, and I'm not speaking as a prince here. I'm speaking as one to continue the lineage of Miss Masters.
Your blood is
Like I
sacred
said.
to me. You are in our esteemed bloodline.
And though this was never really potentially fatal, they have their instructions, these meddlesome hunters, not to kill.
But for how long? You say they will hold back, but for how long?
For as long as a certain child is in charge, and that is the scary part. What happens now? I think it's time we start categorizing how many they are, so that we'll have some contingency plans should things go ill with the current management of them. But like I said, I would like to assure you that I do not take it lightly. And there is one thing though that comes to mind, being as this sort of does put one's own, I wouldn't say mortality, but existence at a bit of a question. If something were ever to happen to me, there are still one other, JJ.
I know.
I'm aware your dislike of her, and I understand why, but you do not know everything. The situation between me and her is not her fault. It is to be laid at my feet. I handled the whole situation less than ideal, and there are things there that I cannot yet tell you, but will be apparent. But if something ever were to happen to me, may I, for the sake of Ophelia and her lineage and her blood, ask you to extend the same sort of concern for my well-being into hers. Because unless I sire again sometime, she will be the only.
And that was going to be my next suggestion. I don't think Elizabeth has the same drive and the same mentality as Ophelia nor you.
No, her talents lies elsewhere than the sort of.
And she
What shall
might
we say?
just, pardon my frankness, Malish, but it might suit the crown better if you find a progeny that's more honourable and worthy of the bloodline than her.
I have actually. Not with the intention of ever siring that person, but rather to ensure my standing in my mortal family's side of the business in the future. Already started training a protege, not, as I said, with the intention of including him in our
But
line
why
of
not
business.
keep that thought warm?
He's still he's still very young. He might very well soon possible, and if not, there's always my uncle, if that should ever comes to it.
Malish, if you were to fall like you very well may have done this evening, the next in line would have been Elizabeth. Do you think she could have run this city without outright civil war? Or anarchs?
No.
Or worse, Sabbat? The city is
No.
weak as it is, with eyes from all other great ones looking upon us like we are an experiment. If she were to step into the throne, bloodbath, my liege.
No, she cannot rule. She can perhaps sire someone who could rule, but she could not rule herself.
The bloodline would be thin, powerless even. My liege, please. You are more than just a person. You are a lineage.
I know.
You should call Elizabeth back for whatever gallivanting stupidity she's up to. Give her to me, let me train her like I did Ophelia.
When she comes back.
When she comes back, she actually slams her hand in the desk, and you haven't really seen her this passionate. Mr. Masters, my prince.
I will let you in on a secret. Your word for my safety, yes, and the safety of my bloodline. She is far more in danger than I am.
Then give her to me. She will be safe with me, like Ophelia was. I trained her.
That which threatens her is not of this world.
Then who? Let me know, let me do my job, let me protect
not
the
who,
crown.
What? A spirit from the other side.
This is why we have these goddamn Tremiers for, my liege. Inform the winter. Let's get rid of this nasty pest. Unite the house. Let me train her.
I'm working on it, but I will not trust the winter for this yet. Not yet. I need to have more information before I do so. It's not that I don't trust the winter to be loyal to the Camarilla, but I do not trust her to be fully loyal to our lineage or cause yet.
She's loyal to stability. She's loyal to a powerful, strong Boston city. A strong city is with a good prince and an heir by its side, that there will be no doubt in the power of the bloodline. A young prince that has already embraced and sends away his progeny looks suspect, my liege. I have bit my tongue, I've kept quiet.
Embracing her was not something I should have done, though I could not let her die. That was weakness on my part, and I
What is done is
but
done. What comes next is more important, my liege. Elizabeth out there on her own might also be a pressure point on you. If she falls in the wrong hands, you are at a weakness. You have no other progeny. I probably overspeak. I am very passionate about this. You almost lost
I
your
understand.
life.
I understand, and I do not. You speak wisely, but I still feel that
Yes,
there might
but
actually
no.
come. I still feel
Yes,
that
but no.
actually. I don't know why, but I still feel that she has some important role to play and might aid the city eventually.
I haven't said this, but I did this because this is my job, my liege. But I have kept tabs on her.
So you know where she is.
I know exactly where she is, and I know exactly who she's with. Just because I was fearful she would fall into anarchs or other hands. I know you have a complicated emotional connection to her. How weak would the throne be if you were fearful? Someone breaking her down piece by piece, sending you evidence of that. That is not my job. My job is to keep you strong.
You said she was with someone. Actually, I probably should know unless we're gonna call her back, because me knowing might put her in more risk.
I'm not going to let you
No.
know, my liege. She actually stands and she crosses her arms.
But
This
actually,
night's gallivancy has proven to me that I cannot give this information to you.
but there's another way of looking at this you haven't quite thought of. The fact that I was willing to send her away does make her seem less interesting, less valuable to me. In fact, it might actually put her more safety, thinking that I am done with it. I mean, after all, we have had most public a tiff.
Indeed, but that would be fine and dandy if it wasn't for the power of our kind. If she
But I
were
will not
pushed,
have her back until this new presence in the city has left.
I have her under surveillance, but I will not give you that information.
That's good. I shouldn't have it. It's risk. It would prove risk. It's better that someone with a more disinterested and objective frame of mind take care of that.
As I tend to.
And then once again, he leans forward and looks at her. I would be nothing without you, JJ. That is the truth of the matter. I think you know that. And please, do not underestimate my gratefulness for that. Not only for my sake, but for my chance to live up to the role that I was picked to fulfill. Though it came sooner and in a less pleasant way than any had thought.
Ophelia believed in you. Ophelia thought you could be one of the great princes to rule the great cities. I never doubted her conviction or her belief in you. Yes, you were thrusted into this position years before you were ready. So I carry now that mantle to make sure that you get ready.
But also, I do not seem like I speak ill of her. But we do not wish for me to be put in the same impossible choice that she was.
Of course, and that's why I'm worried that Elizabeth might fall into the wrong hands. But rest assured, I've got that under surveillance, but at one point, that also has to be dealt with.
She has not been gone that long now. Let's give it some months more before we're making decisions of that. And let's see if we can get these fanatics out of the city as well.
Agreed. I'll get everything ready for your interesting meeting.
Excellent. I'll wheel myself to the library and you hide the wheelchair. I'll send some of the ghouls to hide the wheelchair afterwards, please. And as he wheels out and she leaves, out of the wrong hands, yes. But why do I keep fear that might be mine? Squeak, 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 squeak.
On that note, that's going to be the last sound we're ending this episode with, is squeak, squeak, squeak. As a young prince, terribly wounded, had a not a scalding talk by JJ, but more of a trying to ground him conversation. She doesn't often show her determination and passion for herself. But then again, maybe the young prince needs it. On the other hand, Shiv, she's a yes girl. But is this another Hashimoto deal? Is this yet another one saying that if you just give me this, I'll give you that? Or is there
Tit for tat.
is their agenda more in line than true to hers?
Waking at Andaluvian? I don't know.
If that's what he really is, who the hell knows? Like, he could be like one of the lost bloodlines of Cain.
Who wants one of those old guys back? Seriously, no one wants them.
No one, it would be Havoc.
Except maybe these two.
Yeah, maybe them too.
What was it you wanted to do now again, Shiv? Oh yes, bring Aiden back. What was it you did? Oh yes.
Yeah.
Koski Hanna, thank you very much.
But he's cute, so it's different.
Exactly.
As always, thank you, my players. You are so fun. More is more, and yes, and play
Yes,
and
and.
immersion. Yes, and yes, and yes, and like lean in, lean in, lean in. I love it. Thank you so much. She's like my little toy, so I play with every week, and it's so much fun. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Because
It's
they're
like swan
masochists, and I'm so into it. And to you, viewers, thank you so much for your comments, likes, and follows. Should Shiv trust the guests? Should the prince call Elizabeth back?
Yes.
I don't know.
And should the Queen of Bones, I don't know, get a puppy? Who cares? I don't know. Who knows? But on that note, thank you so much for this evening's game, and see you next time, and take care of one another and stay safe. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.